Alright, so we just beat zombie cancer! High five.
Woo.
So now we're gonna have an international conference. Okay, so this is where we learn about, we first see, I think, Caduceus Europe in this game. Okay, so here's the thing, though. Since this game originally, the original script had it take place in Japan.
They're going to America.
Yeah, Europe was America. But now since we're America, Japan is America, America is Europe. Okay?
And speaking for the United States of Japan is Derek. Medical science is fucked up. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to okay, it hasn't even gotten all the way confusing yet. I'll explain how it gets even worse when we get to the extra chapter. But yeah, this is Victor. He's a douchebag. We'll see him more in chapter 5.
He looks like a douchebag. Arms crossed, looking the other way.
Yeah, he'd be full on anime trope if he had a pair of glasses, which he kept on pushing up with his middle finger.
Nah, but everyone else has the glasses. He got stuck with a no glasses card.
Well, yeah, because everybody else does have. Most of the characters have. Well, those two have glasses, so maybe it's just a.
Glasses make you look smart and doctory, don't you know?
Yeah, probably. Although, wouldn't you be better wearing contacts while you're actually operating, so that your glasses don't fall into the,
I'm actually not sure, but you'd be surprised how easy it is for glasses to stay on your face. Like
I'm the only one here who doesn't wear them.
It depends on the grip on the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like, I know that
you do gotta get replaced.
Doctors get paid a lot, so I know they can afford good glasses.
Well, I know, it's just they do, like, at least in television and in movies, they even get people to, like, dab their forehead so sweat doesn't fall into them, so, I don't know. Obviously, we are not doctors. Oh, yeah, so you can tell that this guy was originally from America, because he's drawn like every anime artist makes you American. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and a gigantic nose, which is anime speak for America.
Yeah.
Also,
Massive
I'm pretty sure
chest
the
if you're a
medals
woman,
above
too.
his... Yeah, I think the medals on his jacket are mostly American, although I'm not a military dude, so do not quote me on that.
I wonder if there was enough attention to detail put into that to make them actual medals, and
No,
not
I'm pretty
just
sure
random bars of color.
They're probably just random bars of
The
color.
latter, most likely.
So, yeah, that's...
kind of sad. This auditorium is empty, but there was clapping earlier. They probably have an installed clapping machine just to make them feel welcomed.
So what, there's just 4 people there?
Yeah.
An explosive patient. This is probably the most infamous scene from the entire game, honestly.
Let me guess, there's a bomb planted in someone.
Ted.
Ted.
You already answered by refusing to answer that
Well,
immediately.
not
so.
exactly. It's more like the patient is the bomb.
What?
Doctor, we need you to operate on this atom bomb. Open that
Open
shit
that
up.
shit up.
So yeah, we disarm a bomb.
But you're a doctor.
Yeah, but...
Is that a bomb diffuser?
Yeah. You see, we don't have to
International
disarm a
conference.
bomb because the girl with us dated a guy on the bomb squad one time. So she knows all about defusing bombs.
International conference, and we don't have anyone on hand who can actually deal with bombs.
Well, it's a doctor conference. They're all nerds. None of them know how to do manly things like...
It's a doctor
defusing a
conference.
They could just cure cancer.
It's a doctor conference involving doctors who are dealing with something that might be a terrorist threat.
bomb. Yeah. So
there should be someone who can deal with this shit somewhere nearby.
Nah, we've just got bombs. So, okay, so this mission is also pretty hard. It took me a couple of tries. So, yeah, this is one of the more finicky ones. Although, I will say that the Wii version of this mission is way better than the DS version. Because the DS this is one of the only missions which is significantly different. In the DS version, you had to, like, move water from place to place, and it was just not very fun. In this version, you know, you can't do stuff with the touchscreen, which was actually... So they changed it so that it fits the pointer better. So you start off by undoing these screws, and some of them unscrew to the left, and some of them unscrew to the right. So you gotta remember which one's which. And I think if you mess up too many times, you die.
What?
That's not how screws work.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
No, they had specifically made screws, and it could detect.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Well, if you were making a bomb that had detonators on the screws, you'd want to mess up other people too, wouldn't you?
I would just have the bomb explode the second anyone touches it.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, then how are you gonna get the bomb to where
yeah, it would have already gone off at this point.
Wow, I finally finished making out my bomb. Now,
just to be
okay,
simple about
in this
stuff.
part, you just got to move the pins to where I have them here.
You're doing fine.
You got to put the pins there, and you got to just trial and error until you get it right the first time.
A pressure puzzle, right?
Done.
Yeah, and
I've seen a couple games with puzzles like that.
And now we just gotta zap all of the panels, but not the red ones, because if you hit the red ones too many times, the bomb explodes.
Do that.
Like that. Don't do that.
Oh, bull.
I think it's like 3 times you can only do it. And also, you don't want to hit the thing in the middle either, because that counts as hitting a red space. What makes this part hard, though? Oh, crap.
Oh. God damn. What a bomb. Did we at least save the animals?
No, we went back in time and made sure that the bomb didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
What
Daggers of time are wonderful things.
Okay, so what makes this this part harder is that the red spaces will always move from one to a is that a hexagon? 6 sides. That's a hexagon. From one hexagon to one adjacent to it. The thing is that sometimes they will appear on hexagons that have already been destroyed, and so when you're about to zap a hexagon, you know, there's no red ones nearby. You zap it, and then it turns red out of nowhere like that, and then you know that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just sort of waiting for one to come into view. It's not too bad, but it does get a little bit aggravating. So what I usually do is, especially when we get to this point, I wait until it stops flashing red, and then I zap it.
The doctor earlier equated to defusing this bomb as just another case of, you know, taking care of a patient.
No, it's not.
It's true. It's like your patient's life is on the line all the time. It's like you're under a lot of pressure when you're doing your most basic surgery. But there's a difference with this one.
It was just something she said to keep him calm, because he was kind of freaking out.
But I get that. But you know, the difference between this and bomb defusing is like, if I fuck up on surgery, the patient dies, but I still live to fight another day.
Unless in this game, if you let a patient die, well then you're just gonna live in exile for the rest of your life. So yeah, I kind of let the planet blow up once, so I guess, you know, a C is kind of...
That's a hell of a lot of bad karma, Ted.
I was considering a couple of other... I wanted to find a footage of an atomic bomb explosion, but I couldn't find a good one.
No, what you should have done was get one of the like ultimate finishing moves in like Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, where the world erupts in Kai energy.
Okay.
Footfalls of Terror. Sure, whatever.
Well, that was an interesting variation.
Yeah, there's nothing ever really like that in this game. Every game in the series has a point where you operate on something that's not a person. Like in New Blood, there's like a toy lock that's keeping you trapped in like a James Bond death trap, and you need to unlock it by solving a puzzle. And in Trauma Team, you use your endoscope to search for victims in a rubble, in like a crash site. Which sounds like an incredibly inefficient use of medical technology when you could just sort of, you know, move the shit, but whatever. So yeah. I think they want us to, I think this is the part where we go to Africa, I believe.
Is it actually Africa, or is it Japan?
It's actually Africa.
Okay.
If you don't get the joke, the caduceus is snakes.
Okay.
Caduceus is like a medical symbol, which is, you know, snakes.
Oh, that thing with the snakes on the.
Yeah, that.
On the
So,
pole.
snakes
Yeah.
on a plane.
You know what I mean?
Had that come out by this point?
Snakes on a plane?
Yeah, hold on. This
It
game
would
came
have
out.
to.
Snakes on a plane.
I'm pretty sure I was hearing the snakes on a plane joke before the Wii was a thing.
Okay, no, it came out on. It came out in 2006. So yeah, August 2006. So yeah, it came out before. It came out before this game did. I wonder what the title, what the mission title was in the DS version now.
Planes on a snake.
It's not as interesting as it sounds.
Wait, so
Snakes are
did someone get sick on the plane?
Yeah, this is actually the last normal patient that we operate on. From this point on, it's just guilt patients. So
Wait, so this is just a filler episode.
yeah, this is a filler episode.
Wonderful.
They don't give the chapters titles in the first game in the DS version. Okay.
It's a good thing we had our surgical equipment and enough stuff to, you
I
know.
was just about to say that.
They keep it. They in later games they just like have a spare set of surgical tools in the car, including the laser beam. It's just like okay, sure. I guess you guys were all Boy Scouts or something. So this one, you have to like use the ultrasound to search for fluid patches, and then you cut them open, and then you you stitch them up and such. But when the plane has turbulence, because of course there's turbulence, you can't do anything. And I think if you have any fluid out while there's turbulence going on, I think it hasn't happened to me in years, but I think like it becomes something more difficult to deal with.
And you can't use anything while there's turbulence.
Yeah, not even the ultrasound, because that'll hurt
Why?
the patient.
Huh?
Don't question it.
It's a vague attempt at realism, although still pretty gamey.
Yeah, it's incredibly gamey. Like, even trying to fill up the vial, which isn't touching the patient at all, will hurt the patient. Sure.
You're doing it wrong. Don't you care about my health?
Yeah, you can tell when turbulence is about to happen when the screen shakes a little bit, and when it's shaking like that, you just can't do anything. When it's doing small shakes, I recommend just finishing up what you need to do ASAP. Or if you're just sort of searching for stuff, I'd recommend just sort of holding on until the turbulence completes in full.
Got that one in just in time. Nice
Yeah,
save.
Yeah. This is not one of my favorite missions because, again, I'm not a fan of anything that just makes me stop midway through and just sort of wait around for, the game until the game decides, okay, you can play again.
It's a game of medical red light, green light.
In a sense. A lot of turbulence.
Yeah.
This chocolate milk in my back pocket's gonna taste so good when I get out of this.
Okay, I have a question, semi-related to that. Why do you have to shake orange juice before you drink it?
Because you got all the pulp in the bottom of the bottle.
But I always get pulp-free. I hate pulp.
Then you don't have to.
Pulp-free is not pulp-free.
Yeah.
There's still residue in there.
Yeah.
And it always sinks to the bottom. You gotta shake well to just, to spread it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I don't like the pulp.
Yeah, I don't like the pulp either.
So,
No, I don't like pulp either. But,
wouldn't you...
Well,
who does like
you won't
pulp?
notice
It's
it,
just
but
having
it does help the flavor.
Who does like pulp? It's just having random floaty bits in your orange juice. Ew. gross.
supposedly it's better for you.
I don't care. It tastes weird.
Well, that's because of the shit swimming in your mouth.
Yeah.
Better for you, like the skins on your baked potato, better for you? Because I don't like those either.
Oh, I never heard about that.
They're apparently the best part of the healthiest part of the potato is the skin. So,
Huh.
yay.
Okay.
I found the
Africa!
plains down in Africa! How does the rest of that song go?
Africa!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're in Zimbabwe. I don't think the village is real, but, they didn't make up a random country. So thank you, games. Don't just make up random countries.
Welcome to Africa land.
Welcome to Elbonia.
Africa Nation number 1, Africa Nation number 2. The borders will change every now and again for no particular reason, but...
It's just something that bothers me in games is when they make up random Asian, South American, or African countries. Just because. Like,
Don't get me started in Antarctica.
It's just use real places. If you have some real places and some fake places, it just bothers me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And there are plenty of real countries to choose from. Just look at a map, throw a dart at it. I don't care.
Take a look at the map.
Throw a dart at it.
Choose where you wish to go.
Africa land. Well, what's going on?
We're looking for Delphi. Delphi is the name of the the group that's using guilt as a weapon, and we're trying to find their secret Africa base.
I like how the army guy's name was Johnson and he had to be a private at some point.
I like how every background is the same 5-hut village.
Yeah, basically. And then this kid, I think his name is Ruben. He's gonna show us where the lab is because of course he knows it. So yeah, they basically couldn't ignore the fact that it was actually Africa.
Are we going to cut this kid in half and turn him into a cyborg?
No, we are not going to cut him into a cyborg.
That is technology beyond our comprehension, Lewis. I'm sorry to disappoint.
We are going to cut him, though, because obviously he becomes infected with guilt.
We work for Caduceus, not Star Labs.
Pandora's box, oh no.
Oh shit.
So is Derek going to become giant size?
No.
I am so sick of Pandora's box references.
Greek mythology is the popular one. It gets referenced the most.
I know. It's like, for God's sakes, branch out a little.
Well, no one knows any other mythologies besides Greek ones.
Well, Norse is becoming more popular these days.
Well, the only ones anyone knows are Thor, Loki, and Odin.
Yeah, pretty much. Like nobody knows about Nidhogg or Yggdrasil, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yggdrasil, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows what to do with Pandora's box. I mean, the most obvious thing is that all the evils of the world are released when there's a little glimmer of hope left inside the box.
Actually,
but in God of War, it makes you giant size. In Final Fantasy VII, there was a super attack with a giant fucking question mark.
On the subject of Pandora's box, though, people read that as being a moral, but it was really kind of a pessimistic thing. The hope was still trapped in the box rather than released in the world.
Okay, so fuck Treaty. Treaty is the name of this guilt. It works as a puzzle where you have to like remove the crystals in a specific way to get rid of the triangles. But fuck that shit. I've never figured out how this puzzle works, and I will figure out how this puzzle works. So just use your healing touch, get rid of all the crystals at once, and then get rid of all the triangles at once, and you never have to worry about it. Fuck that puzzle. It doesn't make sense.
Wait, so why can't you do that without healing touch?
Because they regenerate, and they regenerate too fast for you to do it normally without the healing touch.
So you have to remove the crystals in a specific pattern?
In a specific way, and if you do it wrong, more crystals pop up. The problem is I've never figured out... They don't explain it very well, like how to get rid of the crystals in the right way. I've never been able to understand how it works. I did actually end up having to do a treaty mission without using the healing touch because that's a multi-patient mission, and there's Death Terror right after it. So, but for that, when I did that mission, what I did was I looked up a hard mode playthrough on a Let's Play on my computer, and just did exactly what that person did, like move for move. So I still don't understand how it works, even though I have done it once.
I would have liked a little more consistency, though, for this gameplay. We just obviously operated on a dark-skinned boy, but he became a white mannequin the moment gameplay started. Come on, tell me I wasn't the only one that noticed that, right?
I think they tried to make his skin a little bit darker, but it obviously doesn't match the same hue that he has on his...
No, it's a completely different color tone.
It looks more like it's being viewed through machinery than an actual, body. So...
Well, obviously they're not trying to go for realism, but yeah, matching the skin tone would be nice. I think that when I'm thinking back, I think the mission's called Pandora's Box, because the guy mentions that the guilt is based off of a cancer treatment that they tried to come up with in Europe, America, whatever, a couple of years ago, so that's why, sorta, maybe? So yeah, now we've got another extra mission here. In order to unlock, in this game, there's 6 chapters and the Z chapter. In the original game, there were just 6 chapters. But the Under the Knife 6 chapters cut for a new 6 chapter. And you unlock the extra epilogue chapter after you beat the entire game and all the Z chapters. So you can do these whenever you want, basically. I just choose to do them right as soon as I unlock them, just for a change of pace, and so we're not seeing them all at once. Because they sort of correspond with plot events that are happening in the game as they're going on, but not really. Because it's mostly just sort of filler.
Mm-hmm. Just extra content to justify the new release. Yeah,
because you can't have a straight port of a DS game on the Wii, because that would be really content shy. Not content shy, that's not the word. It would be lacking in content if you didn't add something to justify it.
Yeah, I get you.
So, apparently a reporter had been tailing us, and he got in a car accident, so we gotta save him.
Serves him right, and they drive off.
Yeah. Well, we can't... Okay. This level's gimmick. There's no light. It's dark. So instead of using HM05, like a smart person, we've got a pen light. So we're going to be using that.
Cell phones?
No cell phones.
Aw.
Yeah, it's literally a pen light, so...
Just turn the flashlight app on your cell phone.
Yeah. Is there a full moon out tonight?
No, we're in a tunnel.
Oh, damn it.
The tunnel doesn't have lights?
Am I the only one who's...
They were broken in the crash, I think.
Am I the only one who's, decided to walk around at night in my house and just been too lazy to turn on a light, so I flash my, handheld screen around just to illuminate
Yeah, I know,
things a
I
little?
do that all the time.
Yeah.
Hell no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
That's a recipe to stub your toe.
Also a recipe to step on an insect. Might be roaches down there.
Well, if there's roaches down there, that's your own damn fault.
No. They invade my house.
Yeah.
My house.
How much...
I didn't invite them in.
How much crap do you have on your floor, John?
I try to keep my floors relatively clean.
Do you succeed?
Relatively. Well, I get ants every once in a while.
Do you want ants? Because that is how you get ants.
Do you even watch Archer?
I can't. I watched Bob's Burgers first, and his voice is the same. It really, really bothers me. It's literally the same. I know it's the same voice actor, but he doesn't even try to make their voices sound different. It's just something I can't get over. So other than the pen light, this is a pretty standard mission. It's just, you need to make sure that the light's pointed at the right spot. I think you press the A button. When you want to change it, you press the A button on the little light icon there, and then you press the A button again where you want it to stop, and then it'll just sort of stay in the same spot. And, okay.
But this is a normal patient, though. There's no guilt.
No, there's no guilt. It's just, standard cuts and glass. So now that the pen light ran out of battery, we gotta use the reporter's camera to make a flash, and then remember where all the stuff is, and then operate on it there. Like that. And I think you get a better bonus if you use less camera flashes. I used 2, so I think that's pretty good.
Do you get rank of Jedi if you do it blind?
I don't know. And of course, the lights fix as soon as we're done doing everything, so yeah. There's a mission almost exactly...
We're gonna close them up. By the way, I can see again.
Yeah, there's a mission almost exactly like this in New Blood, too, and they're just... I think it's like when we're kidnapped and you're driving through driving in a car, and, you have to operate on somebody in the back seat, and as soon as the mission's about to end, the guy goes...
What, he's operating while he's driving the car?
No, some other guy's driving the car.
I was gonna say, that'd be interesting if him just kind of leaning back in the chair with his arms, operating and his feet driving.
Mr. Styles, do you know why I pulled you over? Was I Feeding? You've got a dead body on your dashboard. Oh, no, he's not dead yet. I just gotta, you know, suture him. That guy totally cut me off, by the way. Why aren't you pulling him over?